Hi Rika, it's Jenny Asarno with the Getting Closer app, and I'm giving you a demo of our Backend tool. It's a web app, and so the basic way it works is you open up a URL, staging.monotonous.org. Monotonous is just Aton's server, and so staging.monotonous.org/creator/ the next thing that follows can be an infinite variety of things. So right now I'm at Jenny and I have a login for Jenny, and I can create any number of URLs. So I could just type in Reka, and now we've got a new template. But let's go back to Jenny, and I'm going to show you how I would add a new sound spot. So you can see it's using a Google Map interface. Doesn't have every single feature that Google Maps has, a lot of them. So I'm going to zoom in to the Arlington area. Okay, so I've zoomed in to the Arlington area. Here's Robbins Farm Park. I'm going to zoom in a little bit more, and I'm just going to plop down one sound for you. I'm just going to take you through that whole process. So first I'm going to find the audio file. This is the sound that I've decided to use. I'm looking at my Finder window on the Mac. The audio file is advice_complete.mp3. I just simply drag and drop it onto this area of the application, upload the file, and I will tell you that the audio is related to your experience as a Brown alum. I also went to Brown, and you may have already heard this. I know this is a surprise for your husband, so I'm hoping that he also went there, but it's nice either way. So let's see how much longer we have. Okay, so that audio file is uploaded. Here it is in my queue. If I wanted to, I could search for it. So it's called Advice. Here we go. And what I'm going to do is just drag and drop it. Sorry. First, I have to create a spot. Spot. And now I have a number of different options for the kind of sound spot I want to make. This is a simple spot, so it's at this particular location. If I click on Modify, select the spot, you can see I can name it. I'll name it Advice. I can set the radius so that the edge of the radius, so at 250 meters, and this is in meters, you will start to hear the audio. The start volume is set as 0, so at 250 meters away from this spot, it's silent, and then you just start to hear it. And as you approach this spot, it becomes full volume. I want to set the sound, so I drag and drop this here. I can write notes if I want. I could change the start volume, and then we have a few different sync options. And what that means is, so right now it's set so that a loop of sorts starts when you launch the application. So when you launch the Getting Closer application, this audio file would virtually start playing on a loop. The other options are absolute, and so that would start at an absolute time. And it's really an abstract notion. The main advantage to that is that two people using the application at the same time would hear the same point in the audio. The third sync option is proximity, and what that means is that this particular audio file would start playing when you enter the radius. But for this one, just because this particular audio piece you don't really need to hear it from the beginning. It's kind of a it's kind of a collage that you can enter into at any point in the piece. So I'm gonna put the sync at absolute. I want to figure out how big I want the radius to be. So now I just went to the measure tool, and I'm just gonna see how far 250 meters is from this point. So I just clicked once. Now I'll move my cursor, and when I click down again, I can see, double click here. Alright, so this line is 325 meters. Let me try and make one that's about 250 meters. That's 117. So 250 is about here. So I think let me see how long it is in this direction. That's 150. I think I'm going to make this 150 meters so that it'll cover just the park. So let me click on modify, select this spot again. I'm going to change this to 150 meters. Now the other options that I have are to make a path. And a path is a line or series of lines. So here's a simple path. What I did was, here, let me delete that and explain it as I go. Oops. Oops, I hit the backspace key there for a minute. Okay, so I'm going to click modify, select this, delete. Okay, so to make a path, I click on path, click once, drag, double click. Now I have my path. So now click on this. I have all the same options as with the simple spot. And in this case, the radius would just be a radius from any given point on this path. So it would kind of look like this. I could also make more complicated paths. Click, drag, click, drag, click, drag, click, drag, click, drag, click, drag, double click to stop it. I will delete that one though. And I hit the backspace key again. Okay, so let me select this and delete it. I'm going to delete this one because I'm not going to give you a path in this particular location. So my third option is an area for the kinds of shapes that we use. And an area is just that. So click once, drag, click, drag, click, double click. Zoom out a little bit. And so now I can adjust this if I want to cover the whole park. And so that's just another option. I think I'm going to just stick with the simple spot for you because I think you get to experience in its purest form how it feels to approach the source of a sound. So in this case, you're going to be at the center of the park, and I will show you in the satellite. So I think what I'll do is put it at a more recognizable location. So I'm going to put it in the center of the baseball diamond at the pitcher's mound. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is show you the live application backend interface, just the same as what we've been looking at. Only difference is that it's live. So staging.monotonous.org/creator. And so you can see here that we have, so what you can see here is our 3 locations where we currently have sound spots: Seattle, Chicago, and Baltimore. And what I'm going to do is just show you the way the Chicago map looks. Zoom in. And so here you can see what we did in Chicago. Let me put on the hybrid function. So listeners started at the Wyndham Hotel, which is where Third Coast was held this year. This particular spot is, hello, it is Gwen Moxai's introduction to the walk. People were told to walk down North St. Clair and turn left on Ontario Street, where there's a path, which is I've Never Lived in Chicago by Jonathan Mitchell. They continued on, heard Katie Mingle's story, Riding Through the Summer. That story stopped in the middle. They heard directions to go right on Lakeshore Drive. Went right on Lakeshore Drive. They also heard directions to go through the tunnel. When they came out at the other end, they heard directions to walk towards the lake. At the lake, they hear the rest of Katie's story, which is about her jumping into the lake. And then they continue on. I won't go through all the details, but you can see we're using both spots and lines. And then the cool thing about this is that we put a little Easter egg at Washington Square Park. It's a story about Studs Terkel, whose ashes were scattered there. So I think that's it. I'm gonna stop this video and send it along. Thanks so much.